In the Bridge project, we've been using action research to answer the question, what is it that stops adults with a learning difficulty from getting real pay through starting up their own business?
We had 2 years to look at the potholes and barriers and to see how to overcome them.
Over the years, we've seen a number of people with a learning disability get into the workplace. Some of them have used their skills in volunteering. Others have been able to get a part-time job that didn't affect their benefits. But we've seen virtually no one who has been able to use their skills in a good way in a self-employed context.
We wanted to find out what was stopping people from getting real work and how it might overcome problems. We worked with 3 groups: My Life, My Choice, Carmarthen People First, People First Dorset. Each group had a paid team of 2 self-advocates and 2 supporters.
As well as meeting with the individual groups, we also met all together in what we called Big Thinks. We had 4 of these during the project. These were an opportunity for the 3 self-advocacy groups, Social Firms Wales and Barod, our organisation, to meet together and to share progress and ideas. The Big Thinks were led by people with and without learning disabilities. We used participative methods and we made sure that all our information was accessible. Barod and Social Firms Wales were developing tools to help groups to get into the business world, and we used the Big Thinks as a way of the groups feeding back to us whether those tools were working or not. Our model of action research involved a plan action review cycle with people who are trying to change what they do. But as we all know, real life doesn't work like that.
A 6-week review cycle just didn't make sense with the way we work. We just wanted to get the work done, really, and we had to because the money was running out.
We worked out quite quickly that action research didn't apply to our people. The groups didn't go through the cycle consecutively. Quite often, they'd be planning their marketing strategy at the same time as they were reviewing what their product was. And also, they didn't have many formal meetings where they took notes.
So the action research needed to change, so we introduced reviewing activities into the Big Thinks. This has helped the groups to see how far they've come, encourage them and share their successes and problems to others.
We created a liaison role within the central team. What this meant was one individual was assigned to each partner project. This allowed the partner projects to have one point of communication within the central team with any issues they had or any concerns they had. But it also allowed the central team to be able to check in and support and mentor at any stage the partner projects, and this worked really well.
We interviewed people locally to make sure we captured all the learning.
We also found that things simply took longer than we had expected. So we had planned to do 10 plan action review cycles during the project, but in reality we only achieved 5 or 6.
We found that the local teams tended to work together only a day or a morning a week.
Some of the decisions that needed to be made needed to involve the trustees or the directors, and those meetings only happen every so often.
One of the tools that we used was a big folder with the business blocks. We suggested that they use this to check on progress.
We did the work on the bridge together. Sometimes when we met, we checked business blocks folder to see how we were doing.
The way the groups worked through the tools that we gave them helped them to understand that if you fail, it isn't the end of the story. You just have to work out what went wrong, learn from it and try again. So whilst we adjusted action research to meet the needs of our groups, we also found that during the course of the project, they did begin to think in a more business-like way. Part of it is that action research is built on the idea that you try something, and if it fails, then it's not a problem, you just try something else. And fundamentally, that's a way of thinking about business. You know, the real good entrepreneurs are the ones who will try something, and if it fails, they don't go away and lick their wounds, they come back and try something else again and again and again. And so action research in some ways helped them to change the way they thought about business, because it was a way of looking at risk and failure and saying it's normal. They also got what it meant to think like a business person. They got what it meant to take risks, and for those risks maybe to come unstuck and to fail, but to pick themselves up and to start again.